I'm worried. I'll bet you're worried too. I don't know exactly how worried to be or exactly sometimes what I'm worried about. I tried to sit down and make a list the other day. It's kind of a silly thing to do, I guess, in the middle of a pandemic, but I thought it would be a useful exercise. And it came up with a lot of things. First and foremost, I'm worried for the people I love. My wife and children, my parents, aunts, uncles, my in-laws, my church family, all of you, my rugby family. In other words, all the people I've developed real relationships with. I care about a lot of people, just as all of us do, and I would imagine we're worried about them. Second, I'm worried for the people I don't really know that well, the guests at our food pantry, the people served by the soup kitchen in town here, all of our neighbors who are anxious about where their next paycheck's going to come from, all of our neighbors who aren't even drawing a paycheck right now, whose situations just got even worse. I'm worried for our state and our country. I think a republic like ours depends upon trust, mutual accountability, the rule of law, things like that, but also upon the stability that comes from most people being decent, kind-hearted people who care as much or almost as much about others as they do themselves. At the same time, I think this is also a wake-up call. Paul wrote in the letter we read from today, "Therefore it says, sleeper, awake. Rise from the dead, and Christ will shine upon you." What does he mean? Once you were darkness, but now in the Lord you are light. Live as children of light, for the fruit of the light is found in all that is good and right and true. Darkness. He's not just talking about sin, about the stuff that televangelists get on about, the personal things. He's talking about lack of awareness in people and also the broader culture, just in our society. He's talking about moving through life unaware of God, as if we're asleep. I've talked about this before in sermons, moving through life as if we're asleep. Well, nothing wakes a person up to what is most essential faster than an emergency. Once you were darkness, but now in the Lord you are light. Live as children of light. Live as if you're awake and in the midst of God's light. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about what it means to be in darkness or to be darkness. You can probably figure out pretty well what keeps you dark. Just a couple of thoughts. If a person is greedy or mean or dishonest or concerned only with self or their preferred in-group, that's darkness. If a person exploits others, takes advantage, disparages people falsely, ignores injustice, ignores poverty and vulnerability, that's darkness. And it's hard to miss our darkness sometimes because almost all of us are light to some people. It's only in the movies that we have villains consumed entirely by hatred and evil. We don't live in a movie. Well, at least we didn't live in one until the last couple of weeks, and I don't think I like this movie. I think that lately we've been trying to categorize people like they're movie characters. This person is evil, that person is a saint. Particularly politicians. I don't suppose it's a surprise given that there's an election coming up, at least we hope there is. Let me share something with you. The chief way you know in any given moment, whether dark or light are winning in you, whether you're living as children of light, is through your impact on the world around you. It's not your self-perception, it's your impact, your real impact on the world around you. The chief way you can tell that about a leader is similar. Not how they characterize themselves, but how they are impacting other people. If they try to demonize one group to make some of their people feel better, that's dark. If they talk about things that are contrary to the overall teachings of Scripture, that's dark. If they seem unconcerned about how their politics might hinder justice or a better life for the poor, that's darkness. Because love tries to build up others. Light tries to build up others. What does Paul say? Live as children of light, for the fruit of the light is found in all that is good and right and true. It's going to be hard to be a Christian for the foreseeable future. But here's the thing. It's been hard all along. Our churches, many of them, have been walking dead in some ways for generations. I think we figured we were almost through with what God wanted from us. And so we rested on our laurels, enjoying our beautiful worship, buildings, and sermons designed to stimulate our minds and hearts to be not really disciples as much as Jesus fans. I think this congregation that we're a part of has been shaking itself awake for a few years now. And I suspect we're about to take a strong drink of black coffee over the next few weeks. And the future does worry me. I've already said that. But I say we take it on. I say we grab Jesus with one hand and our friends with the other, and we walk forward into the future, eyes open, hearts ready.